Today, I am here to present a small piece of research under the title Human Cognitive Features to Define Correlation Between Depression and Internet Gaming Disorder. About me, myself is Dr. Hariman Pandey from the Department of Computer Science, Agile University, United Kingdom. I have given the outline of my presentation under 4 categories. So first of all, I will be giving the introduction, then background and related work, then computer simulation results, and finally I will be presenting the concluding remark of this presentation. Now, as far as introduction of this research is concerned, I have given 2 bullet points. The first one is for belief and motivation for conducting this research, and then I will be discussing about the current scenario of online gaming. So as far as the belief and motivation to conduct this research is concerned, it is mainly due to the applicability of the internet in our day-to-day life. For example, I'm giving this presentation using Zoom, and we all are using internet. Nowadays, due to COVID-19, worldwide teachers and students are doing teaching and learning using the internet. If we want to watch movies, we use YouTube, internet to interact with friends, families. We use social websites, Facebook, Twitter, or any other, Instagram, all are based on internet. So that is the reason we conducted this research. And the current scenario of online gaming is also shifted from physical game to online game. So nowadays players are players wants to sit at one place and play a game with their friends using the internet, and it creates problem among the player, and the problem is referred as internet gaming disorder. So the term which we use to refer this type of problem comes under the umbrella of internet gaming disorder. So what is internet gaming disorder? So the term internet gaming disorder was coined by WHO, World Health Organization, in their 11th release of Internet Classification of Disease. And they invited experts, doctors, practitioners, researchers to find the solution for this problem, that is internet gaming disorder. One of the important research which I came across while preparing this research, and it was done in 2018 by Leonard, and this research title was What is Gaming Disorder, and it got published in Medical News Today. And it attracted the attention of the researchers and practitioners who are interested and working in physiological disorder or behavioral disorder of the human being. So basically what he did, he suggested the symptoms and characteristics of the players who fall under this, that is internet gaming disorder. In the next slide, I have given the solution, existing study, that is background and related work. So existing research, most of existing research are based on traditional methods where self-report and questionnaires were prepared, and self-report, a booklet is given to the player or to the person or to the patient, and in the self-report the patient has to provide the response on some specific questions. On the other hand, questionnaires were also used where some subjective questions were asked to the patient, and based on the answer, their mind, their behavior were evaluated. So this is the diagrammatical representation of the questionnaires. But the problem with existing methods are noticed. So here I have highlighted 2 key problems. One is human intensive, another one is fear of stigma among patients. So what does human intensive means? Using the traditional methods, experts are collecting the response from the patient, and then the person or the experts or the researchers, he or she evaluates the response to identify the patterns, to describe the behavior or mindset of the patient. He is falling under internet gaming disorder or not. So here the problem is the evaluation will be done by the person who seems to be expert with years of experience. But in case if the person is not having enough experience, or he or she is not able to figure out the response provided by the patient, then it will be difficult to categorize the patient as addicted of the online games or he falls in internet gaming disorder category. On the other hand, when the person got to know that I'm giving the answer and based on my response, the experts will say that I'm suffering or I'm addicted of online game. So he or she develops a fear of a stigma to provide the response. So he or she does not want to talk or provide the answer or provide the correct answer to any specific question. So it is difficult to judge the patient mindset or behavior based on the subjective response provided by the patient. So that is why I have listed fear of stigma in the patient is another challenge. Now, what is the solution? Solution to this problem is use of recent technologies. So there are many equipments are available in the market these days for biomedical research, and there are lots of modalities which I have highlighted here are available to use. So experts can use these modalities to identify the patterns of the patient. In our research, we have used EEG data as our modality, and we have used frequency band, different frequency bands to conduct our research, and the frequency bands which we have used in our research are highlighted in table 1, and you can see here delta, theta, alpha, beta and gamma, and their role is explained in the second column of this table. For example, delta, here the frequency range lies between 0 to 4 Hz and it appears in adult slow wave sleep. Similarly, alpha, if you will see alpha, the range is 8 to 12 Hz, brain is in relaxed state. So these bands are used to describe the mindset or the behavior of the patient or the person who is under observation. What is our contribution in this research? In this research, we determine the relationship between depression and internet gaming disorder. As mentioned earlier, we have used EEG data for conducting the research, and what we did, we have evaluated power spectral density SPD of the EEG data, and this EEG data we got based on the subjective depression assessment, and then we conducted computer simulation based on the EEG data, and finally we have made our observation and analysis and observation on the results. In order to conduct the computer simulation, we used the open source toolbox called as EEG Lab, and it is provided by SCCN Lab, and it runs on cross platform. We have used MATLAB environment to run this, and we applied various steps on the EEG data to analyze the results or to process the data so that we can get some results. So the steps are highlighted here. So first we applied pre-processing to eliminate the noise in the data. Then we applied feature extraction, then feature selection, and then we have shown correlation between the data. And finally, concluding remark. Now, we use a standard topology to conduct the experiment. So as far as standard topology is concerned, you can see these all are different frequencies. And what we did as far as standard topology is concerned, here in this figure, what you can see, this figure presents different electrodes. You can see placement of electrodes are shown here, and in order to place the electrodes, we have used the research conducted by Choi et al. In 2013, and more information about how we have placed the electrodes can be seen using this reference. For data source, we use the data source used by Wajid et al. In 2015. Basically, he used the data which were divided into two groups of participants from the hospital of this university. So two groups are shown here. This is the first group, this is the second group. So in the first group, 33 depression patients with mean age of 40 were used, where 16 males and 17 females were there. And in the second group, 19 healthy control subject with mean age of 38, 9 males and 10 females were used. This is the 19 channel EEG recording, and these 19 channels are presented in the Y axis, and these 19 channels are nothing but the electrode, different electrodes placed here. Like FP1 is the first data here, FP1, then this FP1, FP2, F3. So all these are presented here in the Y axis, and this shows the frequency. Then we apply data acquisition. For data acquisition, two physiological conditions were applied. The first one was when the eyes was closed for 5 minutes, and the second one when eye was open for 5 minutes. Then data pre-processing were applied to eliminate the noise in the data. For data pre-processing, raw EDF files, that is input files, were used, and it was processed through EEG lab, and then it is saved in MATLAB file set system, and it was then used by MATLAB code as an input. All EEG signals were referenced using EEG lab, and then we evaluated high density montage using this formula. So here you can see power spectral density of raw data set. So what was the power spectral density in the beginning before applying the processing? This shows power spectral density after applying pre-processing. So here less noise is there. This is diagram shows feature extraction for power spectra of all bands. So this is for all bands. This is for power spectra for all bands for normal patients. This diagram shows the correlation between for all the channels. You can see x-axis represents the channels and y-axis represents the frequency of beta waves. And here you can see this relationship was recorded for the patients with eye closed. This relationship shows the comparison of gamma power for all channel with eye closed. So x-axis represents the channels and y-axis represents the frequency of gamma waves. I have presented the comparative results of MDD patient and normal subjects with the help of this table for all the frequency bands. And then concluding remark. So here I have presented the concluding remark for this presentation. So all in all, we were able to show the relationship successfully.